First and foremost, Miss Jillian Barrow. Come on out, baby. Jill Barrow, take a seat. Of course, Mr. Bill Newton. Billy, come on out here. Yes. He's got that 50s Vegas vibe going on right now. I can see it in the hairdo. Every day. It works right. Mr. Vincent Tong. Mr. Tongalong. Come on out, my buddy.
Tongalong?
Yes, Mr. Tongalong. Mr. Wings himself, Emmy Lawson. Emmy Lawson. No hiding cards in your wings. Back over there. In the wings. That's who we got. That's our players for the evening.
What is
no. We got Tony. Tony, are you here?
Hey, yo,
you want to play some cards, Tony?
Hey, yo,
Tony Felix is going to be playing some cards with us.
Tony.
Yes. So we're going to not only play a little blackjack, we're going to have some question and answer, and we're going to have some questions about all that stuff. Oh, wait a minute.
But only Tony is answering questions.
That's for Tony.
I know all the answers.
You know all the answers. I know you know all the answers.
Shining armor.
Yes. Shining armor is the answer. The answer 42. Ooh, what's that? What is this?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Hunger? Nope.
Who sings Celine Dion this weekend?
That's not supposed to be on my table.
Me neither.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Have you all played blackjack before?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
If you guys all played blackjack before. Okay.
Some
Anybody
haven't,
here who
though.
doesn't know how to play blackjack?
Some people don't know how to play blackjack.
Don't know how to play
What
blackjack.
is the rules?
The rules of blackjack are this. I am the dealer. I have a pack of cards. These are sealed cards. The reason they do sealed cards is so people can't put different cards in there. So we all know what the pack is. So I, being the dealer, deal out 2 cards to all of my players and 1 card to myself. Then we bet. They know what their cards are. I am assumed to have a 10. So all cards are face value, except for, of course, all the face cards, which are 10s. Aces are 1 or 11. You, as players, are trying to reach 21 before I do. If I reach 21, they all lose. If I go over 21, they all win. But they have to do their betting, and I get to deal them cards, and they have to get as close to 21 as possible without going over 21. They're assuming what I have and trying to get close to 21, and then they win or they lose.
I think they can make like a whole
Yes.
industry of this game.
Yes, they do. Now,
Sounds
there's
like it could be
also
a hit.
there's
think we're
also
onto
another
something.
rule, which is the split rule. Say they get a pair of 2s, or a pair of 8s, or a pair of 7s. You can split those 2 hands. So they say, oh, I want to split that hand. So they put out more money for 2 hands, and they play both hands separately.
How much money did you bring?
And that's called a split.
Couple
Okay?
thousand.
So I'm going to open these cards,
Can I
and we're going to
borrow
play a
$10?
quick game before we get started.
All right.
Can I borrow $10?
$10.
Can I play if I have
How much
0
is it?
monies?
Yeah.
How much is it? No money. Oh.
I'm playing for money.
Mitch is playing for money
Why
for
would-
all of
where's
us.
Where's the bits?
Give it to me. I got nails.
We should be playing for something.
I have no nails because I'm like manly. Oh, there you go.
That was my beard at one point. Can't do it anymore.
I also have no nails. Nail biter.
You're welcome.
True, actually. Oh my God.
Yeah, you do.
You drove here.
Ew. I clipped them before I came.
Who's from Vegas? Who's actually from Vegas?
Who's local?
We have some local
Hey!
Vegas peeps.
Bunch of locals. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Nice.
welcome to your own city.
Is it always this beautiful? Yeah. It's you guys. Do you guys miss like? Or have you seen snow? Once.
Once in
2009 on the TV.
Is the static electricity a thing? Like, or is it just me? Do I have bad luck? No, it's dry. Got it. Okay.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Every hotel door hates me.
Did anybody here see
Okay,
Granny's
we have a
Gone
nicely
Wild?
shuffled set of cards here. Now we're going to deal out 2 cards to all of our
I
players.
know what that is now.
Did anybody here see Granny's Gone Wild? Takes place in Las Pegasus. Jillian wrote that.
Jillian.
Oh yeah, I did that. I did that.
Yeah.
I actually
Thank you.
wrote it while I was in Las Vegas.
My card. All right,
So what do we do?
turn up your cards.
Turn it over.
Turn up your cards. Yes. Turn them up. We're not playing poker. We're playing blackjack.
You're not going
Turn
to be
them
able
up.
to see our cards.
That's true.
Okay.
I got 21 and so did Tony. Wow.
No.
Can you guys?
Jillian
This camera's
has
not
a
even
5 and a 2, so she has 7.
Okay.
Billy has a 4 and an ace, so he either has 15 or 5. You have a 4 and a 2, so you have 6. Yes. You have an ace and a 3, so you have either 14 or 4. Ooh, you have a pair of kings. You can do 2 things. This is really good. You can
Killing
either
it.
stay on 20, or you can split those.
Stay.
If you're feeling really, really, yeah.
Don't split it.
Yeah, we
You have to know what
that
I'm
card.
playing. You don't know what that is.
Stay.
We
yet.
need to know that though.
You got to flip one up.
We need to see that one though.
No, you don't.
What?
Uh-uh.
What kind of blackjack? Well, yeah, we need to see one of them. We get to see one of them.
Oh.
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 He's good.
Are you
Doesn't
good?
help us
He's
that
gonna
much.
stay.
Because now, when you're playing blackjack, you always assume that the dealer has 10. Always.
Oh,
Always assume the dealer has 10.
I feel like I'm
It's
learning.
working.
I put up an ace, which means I automatically turn this over.
Whoa! 22!
No.
What?
Extra win.
That's 11 plus 11. That's 22.
No.
That I
There's a
do
1 or
math.
11 or a 1 and 11. So
Oh.
it's either 2,
20.
He's got 2 or 12.
or a 12.
20.
Oh, okay.
12?
2 or a 12.
I wouldn't be good at the casino.
No, because you got 11. No, he's got 12.
This one goes to 11.
1 or 11. So, because I now have this, I have to play my cards. They don't have to play anything because I put up an ace first. So, I'm either going to make 21 or I'm going to bust and they're all going to win.
Don't I get to hit?
No, because I had the ace, so I had to flip.
Yay, we win. What? Oh, wait,
No, that's
12.
12.
That's 12.
That's 22.
Yeah, that's right. It's 22. No, because one of them has to be 11.
Oh.
We win! Woo! We did it. Look
We
how
were
good you
playing
are.
for money, right? Tons and tons of
You
money.
did really well.
I watched Lee Tokar during the
really well.
original Las Vegas Unicon lose about $500.
Did any of you guys go to that one?
Poker.
At a panel?
You
no,
went?
at poker.
Who
At the
wins?
Bellagio.
Wow.
That was crazy.
How was that?
In the vendor hall.
It was
We
fun.
got some people with some
Hey,
memories.
Jillian,
Yeah.
what are you writing nowadays?
Oh. Well,
Granny's
I've still got
gone
a couple
wild.
episodes of My Little Pony that have
Ooh.
not aired.
Ones we have not seen yet?
Who's a My Little Pony
Yes.
fan?
And more Equestria Girls episodes that have not
What?
Ooh. Westria Girls.
Ooh.
So are you completely out of the books now?
I can't talk about that.
Well, we're all
Oh.
cool here. NDAs,
I
whatever.
tried
No.
for you guys. I did.
It's
I tried.
never over.
It's
That's
never
the thing.
over. No, this
Uh,
ride never ends.
It never ends.
Ask Vince.
And I'm writing an anime right now.
An anime.
I love the enthusiasm over
Which
here.
one?
Yes.
It's called 9DKP. It's not out yet. It's a brand new show.
Brandy, new show. Look for it soon
On Crunchyroll.
on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, and some other stuff, but
That we can't talk about because NDA.
yeah.
Hi, Billy.
Hey, hey.
How's been your 2 weeks since we saw each other last?
Pretty great. I rested. Rested real good.
Rested real good.
Yeah.
Yes. So, any new awesome things that you can talk about or not?
Yeah, I'm working on a new animated show. I can't talk much more about it, but I'm working on a new animated show.
Okay. A new animated show, not an animated.
You guys like new
Yeah, not an
animated
anime
shows?
So
We
Western,
can't eat-
Western prelay.
Okay, Western prelays,
Yeah.
but we can't talk about a plot or a name of it at all.
Western?
Oh,
Yep.
darn it.
No, not Western, like Western animation.
Western
style.
animation.
Oh,
Western
opposed
animation
to Southern.
style.
It would be. I would love it. It's not a Western, but if it was a Western, that would be great. I love Westerns.
And most people have figured out you're from Australia now. Yes.
Have they figured that out? Because
not
I
sure. You
mostly
guess know
get
he's from
low, like-
Australia?
Like English.
Yes, not Austria, Australia. Yes.
That's because you keep doing a
Yes.
British
That's
So
accent.
Southern
what is
style.
Yes. So give us a really quick Aussie thing. You came over to Vancouver.
Yeah.
The first thing on that's basically Canadian American that basically made you go, man, these guys are nuts.
Canada's not that different. It's different, but it's not that different. It was, you know what? It was everybody loving camping. And in Australia, we don't, for the most part, don't really do that because most of the places you'd go camping, they're not like, you know, beautiful fir forests.
Except
and
for New
things like
Zealand
that.
because they
Well, I was
camp
gonna say,
everywhere.
New Zealand, gorgeous place to go camping, but Australia, you go like out to the bush and it's
It'll kill you.
yeah, it's full. There's snakes and spiders and giant ants and all sorts of stuff. It's just not as fun. So we don't have that like, oh, let's go camping. I love going camping and hiking. It's just like, nah, I'm good. I'll stay.
I'll stay.
I'll stay in the city.
That's because the giant spiders like
Hey,
crawl
Vincent.
into your houses
Hi.
and stuff.
Yeah, there.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, buddy.
We haven't
Yeah.
seen you in a while. At least I haven't.
No, yeah, I guess it has been a
Since
while.
we went
Wah, wah,
snowboarding
wah.
We went
last.
I'm trying to do the
snowboarding.
noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how you been?
I've been
Can't do
very
it.
well, man. I'm like super hyped up because I was laying in the sun for like an hour, so I feel good.
Nice. You look like you've taken some in. Yes. Awesome. You got that vitamin D going on. It's a nice. It's an awesome thing.
Yes.
So is there anything you've done since we've talked last that you can actually talk about?
So much camping.
So much camping.
So much camping.
We went camping, like a lot.
People love it.
We love it up in Canada. Canada.
Crack out your flannel.
Yeah. No, I guess like I mean, what's that? What's the
And it shows that have come out or.
Well,
know
I
that
guess the
you're
new
still in
thing since
Ninjago.
I'm still in Ninjago. I'm gonna go to Littlest Pet Shop came out finally. That was fun. I do a few.
We should get
voices
Nick
on
up
there.
on this panel.
Which
He knows all
littlest
the
pet are
answers.
you?
I know. right? I'm going
Mr.
to Comic Con. If you guys want to come, check out
Comic-Con. Awesome.
some
San Diego
Ninjago
Comic-Con?
action over there. I didn't even know if I was supposed to say it, but I just said it. What else? Sandbar is new.
Oh, Sandbar is new. Absolutely.
Sandbar is new.
Sandbar's a new
He's
guy.
he's a pony.
Huge Sandbar.
He's a pony. It was weird because I don't know if this is gonna be a question, but it was a weird like how I got that part because
Let's
like
talk about it. How
they
did
were
how did you end up getting that part in the end?
well, it was kind of cool because I do this guy named Sandalwood. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sandalwood?
Trustfall.
Sandalwood.
Yeah. What?
Trustfall.
Trustfall. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Jillian.
Sandalwood.
Jillian wrote stuff.
I bring
for-
that guy in sometimes.
Exactly. It was very nice. Helps with my mortgage. So Sandalwood was
It's like, yo, dude, he like loves to recycle and like he's really zen and loves frisbee.
and then so I went in. They're like, "Hey, Danny was like, it's so good to have you here, and we want you to do the voice of Sandbar." I'm like, "That's a very bad Denny impersonation." But Denny's like my dad, so I tease him all the time. So he was like, "It's gonna be like Sandbar," and then I went in. I was like, "Dude, well done." No, and then they're like, "No, he's in high school, man. He's not like super old." So I had to like change him up, make him like the surfer dude, and he likes turtles. And it was very nice that they just brought me in because I
Dude,
didn't even
let's
know.
party.
I didn't even know there was more My Little Pony. Apparently, you guys like this show a lot, and they just keep making it.
Amazing. Yes.
So
I've heard from a few people it's a
Yeah,
hit.
it's a
hit,
thing.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a
thing.
thing.
It's a thing.
yeah.
Nah, it's not a thing.
No.
Don't you say that?
No one likes it.
Hey, Mitch.
What's up, man?
What's it like writing for like teenage superhero feminine characters?
It's very similar to writing for teenage ponies.
Is it now?
Yeah, there's I'm on a show called DC Superhero Girls, which premieres sometime next year. It's not the one that's on now; it's different. And there's a very interesting parallel between a lot of the characters and a lot of the ponies. I'm writing, and I'm like, I could just write what Rainbow Dash would say here for Supergirl. Like, there's a lot of that. Wonder Woman is Twilight.
Do you say like
Batgirl's Pinkie
rejected
Pie.
stories that you can put back in?
Yes, exactly.
Recycle.
Pretty much.
Recycle the stories.
Control
And
F,
Lauren's like-
Rainbow Dash replace with Super.
Why does Batgirl have hooves?
Yeah.
It's a holdover, previous draft.
And so, how many episodes is that going to be? I mean, a 26er?
We got 2 seasons off the bat, but they're 11 minutes.
Oh, 11-minute shorts.
Yeah. So we're that's 52.
52. So it's going to be like Super Friends, where you had like the 11-minute short, 11-minute short, 11-minute short. Half
They're
hours.
longer than that. It's more like Steven Universe. That's 2
Oh, okay.
11s, 2 11s per half hour. And then we have a bunch of 2-parters, and the pilot's a 4-parter, so it's 44 minutes.
This is going to be awesome.
So
It's gonna be sweet.
Are you watching that? Hey, Tony.
Hey, Dusty.
How you doing, bud?
Good, man. How are you?
Awesome.
Good.
Still drawing ponies.
Still, yeah. Just last night, I finished up a book that I was working on, and then now I'm starting on some new stuff next week.
So what number are you up to? I know 66 just came out.
Yeah, the last one I drew was My Little Pony Friendship is Magic 66. That was a movie issue. They went to Applewood and made a movie
Oh yeah.
about the Friendship Diary. Yeah, that just came out. That's in stores now. And then before that, I drew the Legends of Magic. That was
Yes.
all the pillars of Equestria.
Loved it.
Legendary. And I just finished drawing a children's book that's an adaptation of the holiday special that the show's doing this year. So it's like the first time that I've done something that's just like a straight adaptation. But it wasn't done yet when I drew it, so it'll be like a different, like the shots will be different than the shots in the show because I was doing
Right.
my interpretation of the script and then they were doing their interpretation of the script. So
That's
that'll
awesome.
be interesting
Cool.
when it comes out.
If you need issue 66, which is the latest one he just did, I got lots of them at my desk. So
Oh, yeah.
Come see me. Yeah.
Look,
We're
Dusty, this isn't for you to sell things.
No.
This is about us.
Selling things.
So hey, why don't we play another game of cards?
Okay.
Here we go. Another game of cards.
Are we playing Flapjack again?
Flapjacks.
Oh, Jillian busted.
What?
You're out,
What?
Jillian.
What?
Already.
One for me. What's my flip card? 5.
Well, that's good.
Flip them up. What you got? What you got?
Ooh!
Blackjack!
Blackjack!
5. 9. Blackjack.
Blackjack.
Nah.
Wait, how is that?
13 or 3. 12.
Marjan looks familiar.
Now, because I only have a 5 here, now they get to hit, stay, whatever you want to do.
Vince, you should hit.
Hit.
You want to hit?
yeah.
All right. Here come, baby.
I was
It
gonna
only
hit
gets
anyway.
better from here.
Ooh.
That's 9.
4 or
so
5.
Yeah.
That's, you
Hit.
need some more. You need another card.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
so
that. That's 10. That's 17.
He's
You
got
want
a
to stay on
5,
17, or do you want to hit?
Stay.
what are you guys saying?
He's got a
Stay.
5.
Hit or stay?
Stay. He's gonna bust.
Stay. She
Stay.
stay.
Okay.
He's gonna bust.
Stay.
Do this.
Stay.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like the
There you
Project
Yeah, we need a
Crash
hand
thing.
signal.
No. All right. So we got what? 9.
Hit.
Double down.
19.
I'm going to stay.
I think he's gonna stay.
I'm
we all know you're
going
staying.
to-
We all know you're staying.
You want me to hit? I will.
Hit the 0. Hit the
You
0.
can't split because it's not the
Double
same card.
Down.
You can't split because it's not the
I
same card.
want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Is that a challenge?
Larson.
I am a very aggressive blackjack player, so I'm doubling down.
So that's
All right.
What is that?
I
still in it?
doubled.
That
I got
is
a
13.
No, I'm happy with that. He's got a 5.
13.
you want to stay at 13?
Yeah, but I doubled. You threw it before I could double. I doubled down.
You can't double down. It wasn't the same card.
course I can.
They have to be a pair.
No,
No,
that's
that's
a
splitting.
split.
Oh,
You
that's
can
a
double
split.
down like
That's
one
right.
more
I'm a
bet
very
for the last
aggressive
card.
blackjack
You're double down.
Yeah.
And you have a 5, so I'm
I'm a
doubling
5.
down.
Dusty's just like an unsure dealer.
I'm an unsure
should-
dealer.
you should
I'm still
probably
learning.
be-
Unsure dealer.
You gonna hit?
Yeah, man.
You gonna hit?
I got 12.
Don't take his
You gonna hit?
Don't take his no, just to stay.
All right.
Okay, no, okay, hit. No, do,
No,
do
no.
you,
Tony?
do you. Tony, do you?
I mean, there's nothing.
Tony.
On the-
Tony.
You
Tony.
have no idea how much money
Your
there's on
dealer
the-
tells you to hit.
You don't
trust
know this
me.
game any better than I do.
Trust me. Hit.
Just
Trust-
go ahead.
Hit.
Oh, you're crazy.
I got this.
21.
Oh!
Did he say Tony won?
Wow.
That's
I
the
hope
name
you're
of the
proud of
game.
yourself, Tony.
Tony
Yeah.
So,
won.
You might have benefited yourself, but
Yeah, you just cost
Well,
me.
he hasn't quite won yet.
messed up.
Because
big.
if I get 21, it's a push.
Well, no, I win.
15. 25. Here comes
15.
the 25 right here.
25. Oh no, 18.
Thanks,
18.
Tony.
Oh.
Damn it.
Thanks a lot, Tony.
No, you're done. You're done.
That's it. You
You're
won.
done. You
18.
don't have
I got to
to.
stop. I
Yeah.
got to stop at 18.
If Tony hadn't hit, I would have won.
If Tony hadn't hit.
But then I won.
Sorry.
You would have won too, man.
I thought I won.
Winner. Winner.
Loser.
Chicken.
Loser.
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 You both are losers.
Because you didn't beat me at 18.
Do you guys think?
We're
Oh well, I knew
Yes.
that already. Do you guys think ponies gamble?
Yes, absolutely. Well, hey, we got
Well,
Las
actually,
Vegas.
they wouldn't let me put slot
You know what?
machines
You know
or
what?
gambling in
Yeah,
the episode.
we did not see any gambling in those episodes.
because
All we
you're-
saw was a bunch of
wonder why
Chuck
that
E.
is.
Cheese machines.
Yeah, are you allowed to put? You can't
no,
put gambling.
No, it has to be like games. You know.
Oh, the carnival games.
Well, yeah, we had the
but in my mind, they were
we had the
gambling.
horseshoe toss
The
that
yeah, but
the
that's not
girls played, right?
Not supposed to be gambling. It's just supposed to be like a game.
That's just a game.
But
This game is skill, not.
but in my
not
head
chance.
canon, they were definitely playing horseshoes for money.
Horseshoes for money.
Were there any
Yeah.
Las Pegasus Unicon references buried in that episode?
Yes.
What?
Were there
Were there any Unicon references?
Yeah, were there any Unicon references in there? Did you put in?
I don't think anything made it. I think I tried to put a few things in, but
Uh-huh.
there was stuff cut.
I'm drawing.
Oh, there was stuff. Hey, that's a great question. What in your script was cut?
I don't think I want to tell you actually because.
What? Please? Pretty
Tell.
please?
We're definitely
I'm
all
gonna
cool
give you the
here.
kitty eyes.
Don't even worry.
Okay, I don't know if that worked on me.
Okay, one thing.
Well, there was like a thing. Well, this was actually an animation thing, so I didn't write it. But you know how everybody freaked out when I can't even remember her name, and it was my episode. But the one character like tips the bellboy, and she gives him like the coin, and it's like kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that wasn't scripted like that. In the script, she just like gives him a tip.
Uh-huh.
Like she like tosses him a little coin.
Right.
But originally, like in the storyboards or in the animatic, they had her like spanking his butt. And
Here's a coin, Sonny.
and it was like a psh, and like then S&P was like, yeah, you can't do that.
You can't really do that.
And like I think all the animators were like like I think they just did it for themselves because they thought it would be funny for themselves.
And if they
Yes.
get away with it,
And
then
they
get away with
yeah,
it.
I don't
Yes.
think they ever thought that was gonna really be it.
That's the Las Pegasus I
Peter
know.
New played
Yeah.
that character
Yeah.
pretty well. He was pretty freaked out. Yes.
But yeah. That's one
Nice.
thing. I have to think about the other stuff or look at my script. But anyway.
Bill, have you ever played a character that had his butt spanked?
Has he ever
A,
not?
a character?
Yeah, there
No.
Ooh.
So,
I think I opened up the wrong can
Was
of
that question?
worms.
wrong
Have you
kind of
ever played a
worms there,
character
babe.
that was funny?
Wrong can of worms. We are in Las Vegas. We are in Las Pegasus.
Oh, butt spanked.
Flank spank.
Flank spank. Yes. What
Sorry,
stays in
this is
what happens in Las
family-friendly.
Pegasus goes immediately on the internet.
Family friendly.
So, family friendly. Speaking of family friendly and evil characters,
Oh,
I just have to like go back to the Pony of Shadows.
Sure.
I just do. I go back to Pony Shadows.
Pony of Shadows.
Yes, that voice.
Yeah.
Where did that voice come from? Was it a meld of things that you
From
had
his
in
true
the past? Is there an actor that you went to?
I released my inner self.
That's what he actually sounds like.
No, it's just all those like Saturday morning cartoon or melodramatic old films with like an over the top comical villain with the maniacal laughs, so a little bit mad scientist and a little bit just really leaning into that idea. And yeah, I just sort of did that. And he obviously, they showed me the sketch and sort of size comparison, so I was like, okay, so he's got to have a much more booming voice, and he's got to sort of relish and revel in that power. One of the images that was quite striking for the art was that it reminded me of the demon in the original Fantasia, Night on Bald Mountain.
Yes.
So I remember seeing that and that sort of, that feeling with it. Yeah, just the sort of enjoying that power and that status. And so it all kind of came from
You've
that.
all seen Fantasia, right?
That guy didn't talk though.
Yes.
That guy did not talk though. He was
Yeah,
just,
he
it
didn't
was just
talk, but he
Robin.
had this whole
No, but I had an idea of what he'd sound like if he did.
Bum.
Yes,
going.
Disney fans.
Come on.
Hey, Vince. Hi, buddy. Out of all the characters on MLP you've played, all the ones, which one do you miss doing the most?
I would think it's like Featherbangs, baby. You know what I'm saying?
For the bangs.
Featherbangs. You guys know Featherbangs? Yeah. Beeper Pony.
Beeper
You know
Pony.
what I'm saying?
I love that guy.
You
I
love that
love
guy.
playing
Was
Featherbangs.
that actually a Bieber, thing, or did you actually find somebody else to meld that into?
It was as Chachi as I can make the voice.
Chachi?
Yeah.
Wow.
As like
I'm not sure these
annoying-
people know who Chachi
Just-
was.
just-
Definitely don't know
Just
who Chachi is.
really annoying and
Joni
Yeah.
loves Chachi.
Yeah, I know
don't
that
know.
Joni loves Chachi. Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
funny, like Jim Miller was just telling me to throw these little into every single line. I'm like, really?
He-
Like I play Flash Sentry already. They're gonna hate me for this. They're gonna hate me even more after this. But but it was such a fun episode to do. I'm actually up for a little award, I'm nominated with that character.
Absolutely.
This
Yay,
Saturday, I'm
nomination.
missing it. It's tomorrow.
tomorrow.
I may win, I may lose. I'll probably lose. But anyways, it's for that character.
If he
you've been
wins, we're all
nominated.
go to the
How,
casino.
how many times have you been nominated for a character? Is this it?
No, there's been a few.
Which ones?
Oh, just
Which
a
ones?
lot.
I don't know.
Ninjago?
Just so many.
For the Deep.
For the,
Does
oh, that's
anyone
right.
watch
For the
The
Deep.
Deep on
Anybody watch the
Netflix?
Deep?
What is that?
It's a pretty cool like ocean
Ocean
family.
family. Swiss Family Robinson with the ocean.
Sort of, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like adventurers and conservationists, and they're trying to look for the lost city of Lemuria.
Yeah.
And I play this little guy named Ant, Antaeus Necton. He's super cool. He loves stuff.
Nice.
He does things.
He does things.
Yeah.
Vince
Hey.
has a money
Yeah.
bin, but like for
Hey.
awards.
Hey, Mitch.
I haven't
speak-
won any of them.
Mitch, speaking of award shows,
Nominations.
give us a story of you going to the award show and being a seat filler. It's something that happened at that award show that you can tell us about.
It wasn't a seat filler. It was a +1. It's very it's a totally different thing. Dusty.
So like a
So which one, this was the Oscars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was at the Oscars.
I was
Last
a
year's
+1.
Oscars.
Not last year, the year before.
Oh, year before.
I've been 3 times.
3 times. And you didn't take me any time. Thanks a lot.
I was a
Some
+1
friend you
That's
were.
each
because
time.
he's the
Yeah,
plus
+1 doesn't get a +1.
It was an honor just to be a +1.
Did you get plus ones at a
Anything
party?
that happened,
Yeah.
okay, anything that happened those 3 times that you, a funny little story that might have happened.
I mean, I was so far in the back. Yeah, the sound engineer did something hilarious back where I was. No, I mean, I was there for the one where they did the famous like Ellen selfie thing. I was there for that.
Was that really boring to watch in
Yeah,
real
it was
life?
really boring because it was we were way in the back. Nothing crazy. It's
Nothing crazy.
it feels like okay. The first time was absolutely amazing. I was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And Cirque du Soleil was there, and that was incredible.
Oh yeah, like they got into the shape of a gun.
I wonder
and
where we
stuff. They
could
did
see
all that.
Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, I
I
don't
don't
remember.
know.
Where they did like shadow puppetry.
Maybe it was like 5 years ago.
I remember vividly.
Second time was like, this is all right, and the third time was just like, oh, I would so much rather watch this at home because it feels like a big work party. It feels like you're at everybody's networking,
Oh, of course they are.
and
That's everywhere in LA.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Forever.
Winchell's
Is that an ice cream
Donuts,
truck?
you know, I could give you cards out at Winchell's Donuts.
Is that an ice cream truck?
What?
I want some ice cream.
Ah, Tony.
Yeah, I didn't go to the Oscars either.
Yeah, no, you didn't go to the Oscars. But how about a quick story of maybe meeting one of your artist heroes? You know, because we all meet you guys, right? And you're all heroes to us. And I know that you love comic books. You've loved
Yeah.
comic books for your entire life. But now that you're working in it, one of the first times you ever came up to say Jack Kirby or somebody like that, and how that went.
I never met Jack Kirby. He died before I started going to conventions. So that's a bummer.
tell them the first time you met me. That must have been
That was pretty
pretty
good.
thrilling.
Is that when we went to the White House?
Yeah, it was actually.
That was pretty good. That was a real memory we made. I don't really have any specific Meet My Heroes moments, just like the difference between the ones that were really awesome and the ones that sucked. That sort of formed how I expect when what I expect when I meet people, and also how I hang with people when I do shows like this. The first guy I ever met was like a guy whose artwork I loved. I won't say it because he sucked. But I went up to him and I was just like, hey man, I love your work on this book. I'd love it if you sign this thing for me, and I'll continue to buy it. Like, I'm just such a huge fan. And he was like, oh, I haven't worked on that book in like 5 years. And I was like, oh, well, cool, I guess.
Let me guess, Steve Rude? No?
So I learned like to not take whatever the person was bringing me and turn it into some other type of energy. You know, like if somebody's coming at you happy, just shoot happy back at them,
Yeah.
and everybody will have a nice time. Otherwise, it just gets so uncomfortable.
You just walk
Yeah.
away going like, well, I guess F me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I'll just
okay.
go
So
back there and F myself. I
time for
guess.
another hand of cards, I think.
That's for free. You tell me about blackjack, I'll tell you about some conventioning.
All right.
Blackjack.
I
Good
like
card.
cards.
I got a good card.
We need some steaks.
I had steak last night.
Down. What's my face card?
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, that looks good.
Oh
though.
no!
We got a 7 and a 2. 8. 8 and a 6. 14. 16. That's going to be 17. That's going to be a tough one.
That's the worst hand
Ooh,
possible.
19 or 9, depending on what you want to do. Jillian.
Jillian.
Obviously hit. I mean,
Hit, baby. Okay, here we go.
Oh, that's a really good 9.
Oh.
Ooh,
19.
19.
Guess
Yeah, I
I'll
think you're going to
stay.
stay. All right.
Hit, please.
Oh,
Too many.
Too many for you. Busty bust.
I will hit.
Losing.
Yeah.
Ooh, 22,
Nope, 22.
baby.
One too many.
I have no choice but to stay.
You want to stay?
No,
Stay.
hit it.
Stay in.
I can't hit a 17.
Staying
man.
on 17. It's always the
I
hard
would
one.
say hit.
You would hit it at a 17?
I would hit it.
So, 19 or 9?
I mean, I think I'm gonna stay. I could just end up with 19 again.
You could
or
end up with
20.
19 or 20.
But what's everybody else got? Just a 19?
Yep. We got a 19 and a
He's got that
17.
10. I'm not playing against us back here?
No.
Oh.
You're just playing against Dusty.
Well, then I'm good. I'm chilling.
You gonna chill? Okay, here we go.
This is 10.
What do I got?
I told you.
He got me.
I win.
He got
That's
all
how
of
we
us.
play.
20.
He's dealing from the bottom of the deck.
That was terrible.
Terrible. That's the way you want to play out there. You lose money.
Rigged.
This is why I don't play out.
That's why you don't play.
Out there, no.
Yeesh. All right.
You invite some people to a convention and then beat them
in
front of
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
front
Beat
of
you, I
everybody.
beat you
Yeah,
like
in
a
front of
rented
everybody.
mule.
You're not
Humiliate
very
us.
No, I beat you like a rented rider. That's why I beat you like.
You just called us heroes, and
That's
now you're
not
just
very
I
nice.
did.
chopping us down.
Chopping you down, choppy chop chop.
Feel
chop.
like a piece of lumber.
I think it's Tony's fault again.
Me?
How much time we got left, people?
Isn't that what we're supposed to do at the blackjack table? Is
We got so much
blame
time.
whoever's
Yeah, we
like,
pick who's.
screwing it up.
Yeah, exactly.
We got 25 minutes
We got
left.
25 minutes.
Do you have other questions?
25 minutes. So hey, you
Yeah.
know what? 25 minutes left. What I want you guys to do. Anybody got some questions out there? So if you guys have some questions, I want you to line up straight through here. Be very quiet and don't run. So make a lineup right here, and we're gonna have you come up here and ask a question to your favorite person.
Particularly pony-related questions.
Yeah, pony-related questions,
Anybody have
not
any pony
blackjack-related questions.
All right.
If you
Come
got
on up.
blackjack-related questions, ask Tony.
Australia
Hi.
questions.
Hello there.
Hi. What's your name?
Alan Bannister. Is this thing on?
Yes, it is.
We can
All
hear
right.
you.
Oh, since we just had a game of blackjack, how's about something similar, a poker-related question?
Okay.
All right.
Out of all the creatures we've been introduced to or reintroduced to in Season 8, who do you think would make the best poker players?
Starstruck or Bearded,
Yes.
because he would play the percentages.
Trixie, because it would be very funny.
What do you think, Bill?
I can't say Stygian because he plays so cowardly. So cowardly. He'd just be like,
I'm fine. I won't take any more cards. Thank you.
probably Starswell. Starswell.
I think Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie Pie playing poker. That's
Yeah,
just.
because there'd be a party cannon even if she
Yes.
loses.
No, because nobody would even take her seriously.
This
She-
is true.
Yeah, she
Always
does
some
it.
Can you
underestimating
imagine
them.
Pinkie Pie's poker face?
Yeah.
What?
Her poker face? Pinkie
Yeah.
Pie's poker
Her poker face would be like,
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
read that. You
Can't read
wait,
that.
what? Is that good cards, bad card? I
Yes.
don't-
Yeah.
What about you, Lawson?
I was thinking the exact same thing. She's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
You couldn't
You would have no
possibly
idea how
She's
she
a
was playing her
wild
cards.
card.
try to read her and you just couldn't.
who's that?
EMF.
Sing
EMF.
it.
EMF. Sorry. Tony.
This is real. I mean, everybody's already gone already. I feel a lot of pressure.
There is.
Knock it out of the park.
It all comes down to you,
Don't
Tony.
say something.
Dumb.
I wasn't going to say that
What if
word.
I just said rarity? Had done that. There you go.
What
Very
doesn't matter
smart.
to her?
Thank you.
Filthy rich.
Thank you.
Hi, Spike.
Hi, Spike.
Hi, Ed. How are you? Good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Great question.
Next, please.
I like that
Great
question.
question.
It's a good
I
question.
get it.
Come on up.
I
Hey, Taylor.
get it.
Hey, Bill, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Just wanted to start off. Tony, love the comics.
Thank you.
Mitch, love your episodes.
Thank you.
You know, Twilight looks better with wings. Vincent, love all the voices you do from MLP and now even World of Our Own, the new Littlest Pet Shop series.
Thank you.
Bill, who knows me so well.
I do.
And Jillian, love the Granny Goes Wild episode.
Oh,
I just
thank
want to tell
you.
everyone else, this is how you do questions.
Don't come up here.
Come in heavy with praise.
Yeah.
Specific praise.
Start with a little
Now your
smooch,
question,
smooch,
sir.
Whatever the
Don't
question
come up here
is.
till you have at least 5 compliments ready to
Exactly.
go.
Well, because I screwed up at Babs, because I missed Andrea and Trevor.
They're
so
not that
I-
great
this
anyway.
was
free to
my fault.
compliment
They
them
don't
too.
deserve it.
They don't really need anything else.
They're
So-
not here. We can trash
Huge
talk 'em.
egos.
So I have 2 questions. One is for Mitch. How much advice did you give to Josh Haber about, Spike's new transformation?
I didn't give him any. He did it all himself.
I'm sure he learned from the best. So, also, for my friend Bill,
Yes.
if the this is what happens to me.
That's okay.
So, what would be Bright Mac's favorite Vegas-style game or Las Vegas's game?
That's a good question. Probably just penny slots. I don't want to gamble too much. I'm just a simple pony, and I think penny slots. It's just pressure's off. I can just play my favorites. The
You're being very
the Triple Eight
charitable.
Fortune. It's just a fun one. The pressure of the tables is too much. I don't like it.
Well, thank you guys so much.
That
It's
was
great to
nice.
see you.
Thank
all.
you.
Good question.
Thank you.
Next.
Hey,
Hi.
AJ.
Hi, Bill.
Hey.
So,
All right.
since this season has been about a bunch of different races, what new race would you guys like to see in the show?
Chinese?
We already have that, Miss Maine.
Who's that?
Miss Maine.
Oh.
She's the Asian ponies with the
I tried
curved
to.
horns.
Well, I wrote a giraffe into an episode, but didn't get to say
Yeah,
anything.
giraffe.
Oh, giraffes would
Yeah, I
be
saw that.
amazing.
Did they ever actually codify bad ponies? Because it's about time.
No, they haven't.
Official bad ponies as a
We need
separate
bad
race.
ponies.
Well,
We need bad ponies.
I
We
tried
need
to
more
in one of my
zebras.
books.
Is what we need.
I want to see. I want to see.
I want to see the
Sakura
zebras come in as an actual.
Sakura.
Yes.
Are
More
there
zebras.
honey badgers?
More Zakora.
Honey badgers.
A honey badger?
Honey badger.
That'd be weird.
Honey
that they
badger
don't
give
they
a-
don't give a damn.
No. But that's perfect.
Absolutely, honey badgers. That's
Thank
what I'm
you.
thinking.
Hippo.
Thank you.
I would like to see more
Hippos.
Yeah.
Hippos.
Yeah.
They're so hungry.
So hungry.
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 I like your crossover.
Go for it.
First of all, I would like to compliment each of you.
Yes.
It's nice seeing you again, Tony, of your art,
Thank you.
and nice to meet you. I'm a fan of all of your work.
Thank you very much.
Same goes for you. And
Thank
it's
you.
nice seeing you, Bill and Julian, again.
It's good
Nice
to see you again. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's your favorite part of what's your favorite episode of My Little Pony?
The favorite?
Episode that you worked on
Oh, favorite episode that I worked on?
for all of you.
For each of us?
For these 4.
Oh, for these 4.
Yes.
Aw.
Fair enough.
And
Aw.
No, you
Yeah, well,
try.
it makes
Yeah, it's all
sense.
right.
I mean.
and I have to ask Tony a different question.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Tony,
Oh,
Tony,
Tony
will
gets
be
his own
included.
question.
I think my favorite episode that I worked on is the Grannies one, just because.
Well, they went wild.
Most of the episodes I've done have not been my premise, but that one was. So it means that, I thought of the idea for it, and I actually got to write it, which was cool. So that's why I like that one the best.
It's all yours.
Yeah.
All you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Favorite episode, I think, was probably Shadowplay Parts 1 and 2. Because I got to play 2 characters in, the space of 1 and a bit episodes. So I got to play 2, really drastically different ones and kind of take one extreme and play the other. And, I think that was probably the most fun episode to work on for me.
I don't know the name of the episode, but it was the first episode I've ever done of ponies, which
Tell us about it, and maybe we can all guess the name of it.
It was I played a character called Prince Blue Blood, and he was supposed to be
The
set
best
up
night
with
ever.
rarity.
Season
Best
2.
night ever.
He was a best night ever.
Best night ever.
Or something like that. I don't really care. But yes, he was very hoity-toity, and that was the first time I actually was in the studio with
Hoity-toity's a
everybody,
different
and heard about bronies and heard about these conventions. I was so curious. So yeah, that was one of my favorites.
My favorite was probably Mending Fences because it was kind of the closest to what I wanted it to be in the final product. There's one scene that got cut out just because it was too long, that I really liked, where Twilight went to Celestia's basically bedroom, and was like, I quit. I'm not going to be the Princess of Friendship anymore, because how could I be the Princess of Friendship if I've ruined this other pony's life? And Celestia's like, chill out. Everything's going to be okay. Go try again. But they cut it because the episode was too long. But other than that, it was kind of exactly what I wanted it to be.
Slaps her in the face.
Yeah.
Get your stuff together. Get it
So that's probably my
together.
favorite.
Nice.
Come on.
Oh, and a separate
What
question
was
for
your
Tony.
question for Tony?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
What's your favorite comic that you worked on?
Oh.
Favorite comic so far you worked on?
Oh, I should have guessed this would be the question. This whole time. The one I wrote and drew myself, I liked a lot. It had a little Strongheart, the buffalo, and I liked getting to bring her back in and sort of do a deep dive on the buffalo culture. So yeah, that's my favorite one. Rainbow Dash, little Strongheart.
Awesome. Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's posing.
Next, please.
Hello.
Hi.
First off, before I go with my questions, I would like to say thank you to every single one of you, including Dusty Cat. All of you guys have been inspirational and great.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And my question is towards Tony, MA, and GM. When it comes to writing a piece of material, whether comic or show in any form, what is some advice that you can give to like have the best amount of quality while making it more like on a fast ratio, like a faster ratio than dragging it on?
Speed times quality, that's what you're saying? Like how to work at a professional speed and also have it be good?
Or are you talking about pacing
Just like
of storytelling?
write content at a pace where it's efficient.
Yeah.
Yet you're still doing the best quality that you can do.
That's the trick, right?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I guess just know your deadlines and don't leave it till the last minute. And then sometimes if you actually set, some pace for yourself that way, you can surprise yourself and finish before deadline, which has happened to me a couple times, and it's always very pleasant. So I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's honestly.
It takes
Mitch,
a
do you
lot
have
of
anything?
practice, and I've been doing audiobooks, and when I didn't set myself an actual, I need to get these chapters done by this date, it just wouldn't happen. So I ended up we're working for myself, again, with Jillian, it's like, you have this deadline now, do it. Because the author I'm working with says, whenever you want to get it done. It's like, so I won't do it because I'm like, I've got other things to do. No. Set a date. It's like, I need this done by this. If it stinks, then I can go back and do it again. But practice being on a deadline, and it'll get better.
It's hard to say because my problems might not be yours. Everybody's like, I hate writing, but I love rewriting. And Jillian, you're probably the opposite, right? Yeah, Jillian loves writing and hates rewriting. So my advice might not apply to you, but I would spend most of my time figuring out the structure before you do anything else, because then the rest is pretty easy. Then it's fun. But if you start writing, you don't know what the structure is and where you're going, where the commercial breaks are, what the climax is, then you're going to struggle a lot. And then it's not fun.
So kind of like build the frame of the house and then fill it with furniture.
Yes.
Or like a first draft, right? Like you just sort of want to hack through the first one because then you can go back and sort of spruce it up and make it better and better the more time you have. But if you spend all your time sort of like getting from page 1 to page whatever the last page is, then by the time you get to the end, you're out of time. But if you can just sort of rush through, get your structure figured out and get your first draft done, then the more time you have to sort of refine, the better it's going to be.
That's exactly right. Every episode I've ever written of anything, as I was writing it, I was thinking in my head, this is awful. I can't believe I'm even doing this. This is so bad. But get through it, because then you can go back and like make it good. But it happens, and I've been doing this for like 12 years now, and it's every single time it happens.
Yeah,
and now I know this
why,
is awful.
but
this
it
is
does
awful,
always
this is
feel
awful.
awful.
It just feels bad, but you just got to push through it, like
And
Tony
by
was
the
saying.
time you get to the end, having the whole picture in your head, you'll know what you need to go back and fix first, and then that sort of, people say it's like ironing, right? Like you just keep going over it until it's flat. That doesn't sound right.
I get it. Advice I've gotten is that you have to figure out your ending first, because from there you can flesh out how it's going to end.
Sure.
Yeah, then you know what you're building to.
Thank
I was thinking of it like it's like throwing clay, and then you can go back and actually sculpt it.
Right.
But you just got to get the clay.
Gotta get
there
the clay
first.
on there.
Yeah. Getting the clay on there sucks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Next.
I said not.
You're right, though.
Yes, I have a question for everybody, just a fun little question. If out of all the characters in the show, who do you think would have the most, like, the worst gambling addiction out of all of them?
Barry Punch.
Huh?
Barry Punch.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because she'd get drunk and then not know when to stop.
They will cut you off though eventually.
That's true.
Maybe like Flim and Flam? I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, they own the casino now.
Well,
They do,
maybe that's part of it. It's part of the problem.
I'm gonna say Spike because he'd be so greedy.
Yeah.
He would
Once he
not
starts
leave the
winning, he
table.
couldn't stop.
Yeah.
But then he could just fly away.
He'd review his first one.
Well, also I could see like Rarity getting weirdly into it. Because it's like, you know, when you win, it's like that little affirmation. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, ooh.
She loves her affirmations.
Yeah. So, but she'd be really like embarrassed about it, I think.
Right.
She'd try to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was found out, it would be the worst thing. in the
Yeah.
world.
I don't know.
I feel like it would be any of the really high energy ponies like Rainbow Dash or Pinky, just because I feel like they'd be chasing that high. Like they'd get that energy and just go like, yeah,
Yeah.
hit, give me another
Rainbow
one, give me
Dash.
another one. Yeah, I feel like they would be the ones that would just get a little too enthusiastic about it.
Rainbow Dash is a good call.
Yeah.
Rainbow Dash is a good
Yeah.
call.
I thought Scootaloo similarly. I mean, she's not old enough to gamble, but they don't have the same rules.
No, they're throwing dice behind the. They're throwing
Yeah,
dice
yeah, yeah.
behind the schoolhouse.
Yeah, you start with like
museum.
dominoes and you
Right.
work your way up.
Yeah, start with dominoes. Thank you for questions.
Another one. The favorite part of this current show, My Little Pony, for all of you.
Favorite part of the show?
Yes.
Favorite part.
For all 5 of you.
The friendship.
The friendship?
The magic.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you say magic.
Same thing.
Oh, I like the
Oh,
magic.
sure.
No.
The ponies.
Favorite part of the show is
Yep.
the characters. They're like pals, you know? Good to know.
I like how everyone's getting wings except Scootaloo.
Yeah.
I genuinely love the characters. Every time I see a script, it's fantastic. I was actually talking. There was a couple here that were just in the hotel randomly, and they were asking about the convention. And
I was there.
yeah, I know you were there exactly. There was a couple there, and they were talking about how. Their daughter 30 years ago was into My Little Pony and like had the toys and liked the show and things like that. And I was like, it has come so far. Like it has become, like the characters have become so deep and so rich that it doesn't necessarily matter that it's this particular franchise. It could be almost anything. It happens to be this, and it works really well. But just the really, really deep, developed characters and the stories that are told with those characters is always impressive. Like I said, every time I've seen a script, I've just been like, this is so good. This is so good. So yeah, the writing.
Me?
Yeah, what do you like about it?
You know, out of all the episodes that I've seen in My Little Pony, I gotta say, like my most favorite episodes are the ones that have my characters in it. It just brings
too.
such a
Weird
depth.
coincidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, man. It's just
Yeah.
such depth, and I mean, it just brings the show to another level that I've never seen before
Like
in
it
any
was
show.
here and now
yeah,
it's
now
here.
it's
Yeah.
20-30% cooler.
Yes.
That's my answer.
Aside from Vincent's incredible voice work,
Incredible.
Yeah.
my favorite thing is how the show can connect. Like the fact that people watch it and connect to it and relate to it, and something about the magic of that is it's awesome. I've never experienced anything like it. Just like Vincent's voice work, I've never experienced anything like it.
I just like the theme song, really. I don't really like it. I like how it starts off. You think it's one kind of song, and then it like it just like switches up into this other kind of song. You thought it was going to be one thing, and then they flip it on you. And then different seasons have different themes. It's great. I mean, the theme is the same, but the visuals change. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Yeah.
Do they
Visual
have a
does change.
fricka?
It's like
After
it's like
7
Sugar Ray.
seasons, we finally got a new intro.
They should have a fricka.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay, I'm actually going to ask a serious question.
Serious question.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright,
Serious.
man.
Serious.
All right, first off, I love Stygian and Flash. So,
Looking for like a ship.
Dude,
Yeah.
you saw you got the carving. You saw how much detail I put in
It's
that flash.
amazing. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
I actually have a question for you, Vin.
Uh-oh.
It actually has to deal with a TV show called Arrow.
Yes.
You were in season 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
Oh, I gotta go back and watch. How was it being?
Were
a
you
part of
the
that
Arrow?
I was, yeah. He drew me back, and I was like, "Oh, you're good." What was your question?
Show? What was it like being a part of that show?
What was it like being part of that show? I will tell you. It was weird, man. It was one of the quickest sets. My good buddy is one of the stunt coordinators on that show, and they just fly. I
that
like
Bam
no.
Bam?
Yeah, Bam and Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis and
Bam,
Bam, yeah.
And it's like a really quick show. They shoot it like it's a feature, but they have a very limited time to do it. So it's very, very rushed. It was one of the most rushed scenes I've ever had to shoot. And I was like tied up, and they were interrogating me because that's just the parts I get on TV. And so it was weird, man. I don't know if you guys, anyone's really big fans of the dude who plays the Arrow. Stephen Amell.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. He's a good buddy of yours?
No,
Okay.
I was
All right.
yelping.
Okay. No, but it was a bit unfortunate. I think sometimes having a starring role, and especially on film sets, you can get a really big head really easily because everyone says, "Good morning, how are you, Mr. Tong or Mr. Amell? Can I get you anything?" Everyone just sort of placates to your desires. And I think it got to his head a bit because he wasn't friendly. It was unfortunate. We were just trying to have a conversation with the dude. He was just like texting, and I was like, "So, what'd you guys do this weekend?" What? Like he just didn't even chat, and then it was really annoying. And so what I did, being indirectly kind of passive, so when they film TV shows, you'll see we do it several times. So the camera will be facing me, and the camera will be facing him, and we do the scene. And so when the camera flipped onto me, the AD came and got me and was like, "Vincent, you ready? We're gonna shoot on you now. You don't need Steven for eyeline, do you?" And eyeline is like for someone just to stand there and not could look, because usually what they do is they put up a piece of tape, an X on the wall or on a pillar or wherever I'm supposed to look, because he's supposed to be standing wherever the camera isn't. And he said, "You don't need Steven for eyeline, do you?" And I'm like, "Actually, I do." I do. And he was like, "Oh, okay." It was like the first time anyone's ever asked Steven to come to be eyeline because he wasn't even on the camera. So I was like all tied up, and I was like, "Waiting, where's Steven?" I see the X up there, and action, and he comes around the corner and goes, and he's so angry because he doesn't have any lines, and the whole scene is just me berating him, the fact that he doesn't have the guts to shoot me right now.
That's amazing.
And it was awesome. We had to do 3 takes, and I was like, "Thanks, man." And he was like, he was so mad.
I bet you got some extra, emotional emphasis from berating him. Just
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
"No,
Oh,
you
it was
don't have
awesome.
you don't have the guts to even be in
gotta
your
go
own
watch
show."
Yeah.
What
Because Mom
episode
was
is
like,
it?
"Isn't that? Yeah, it's Vincent." She goes, "Whoa." She loves watching that show.
What
Aw,
episode is
that's
it?
Yeah, what
sweet.
episode?
That's
I gotta
sweet.
go back and watch
That's
that
very sweet.
because
Thank you.
knowing that, I'm just gonna be like, "Oh man, Stephen Amell is off shot right now."
Yeah.
Fuming.
Fuming, yeah. He was so angry.
I have a little known fact about My Little Pony. Every character Vince has ever done, he insists on being tied up before he does.
Don't tell them that. I still have the
It's his
arm
process.
It's in his
burns.
contract.
Giving up the voice acting secrets.
Well, and
right
it has
here.
to be really soft ropes because otherwise they'll chafe and make noise in the booth.
True.
So
Yeah.
Also, Twilight Sparkle's always a jerk to him.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Just like
He
that.
needs eyeline for
She's
the
always
animated show.
texting.
I need
He
eyeline.
insists on eyeline.
Eyeline. That's so good.
So, sorry, I'm back.
Hi.
that's okay.
More
I
compliments.
just had a follow-up question for Jillian. For the episode Granny's Gone Wild, were you kind of surprised that Hasbro approved of the title?
Yeah, I was very surprised. That was like a placeholder title that was given to it when I had pitched the premise, and then they got it approved. And when I got the email from Nicole DeVue, she was like, "Oh, okay, we're all ready to go for Granny's Gone Wild," and I was like, "Oh."
You went with it.
I was like, "Okay, we're calling it that."
I
All
feel
right.
like we're like a generation past Girls Gone Wild now, though, right? Like,
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even think
Tony.
people remember those steel drums or the commercials. Like,
How do you know so much details about this?
Well, no, I don't know
thing
there
I
was
don't
a
know
lot of
anything
like
about.
The buses in
backlash.
Florida.
People were really mad at me online about it, and I was
What?
at home.
Mad
going, like,
online?
People were mad online. People were mad on the internet?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever heard of people being so mad on the internet?
That's
No.
weird.
Anyway, they
Mad,
were like,
mad online TM.
people were telling me that like I was, horrible person because children were gonna Google that, and then like showing me what
that's
the
what they're
search
gonna
results
Google.
were, like tweeting
Maybe your
them at
stupid
me.
kid shouldn't be
and
on
I
Google.
Saw some stuff I didn't want to see,
Ooh.
but that wasn't really my.
Well, I'm Googling
my
that right now.
choice.
The same question
steel
for Mitch. Did you have an episode where you felt like that you weren't sure how the audience and the target audience were going to feel about this particular episode?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, most of them I didn't.
Episode
know.
100.
Most of them I didn't know there was an audience, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, the 100th episode was really scary because I thought it was really a bad idea.
The one with the background ponies talking.
Yeah,
the
I
whole
had
time.
multiple meetings with Hasbro where I told them this is a bad idea because the fans have created these characters, and now you want me to go in there and say, you guys are wrong. Here's who these characters are. I thought it was such a bad idea, but they really wanted to do it. And so I wrote it, and I was like, I remember the day that I cracked it because it was so late. It was like months late, and I was like, oh, I know how to do this. Just go completely insane with it, as crazy as humanly possible, jam it full of as much pandering and references as I possibly can, and it'll just be fun. And then it was fun, and then I was like, oh, I need more.
And then it
I
was
had
perfect.
Vince in there, I had Flash Sentry in there, but they cut him out.
What was the scene?
There's a scene where, Cranky's running around getting ready for the wedding, and he's really frantic. At one point, I think it was the doctor is going somewhere, and Cranky goes the other way, and you kind of stay with Cranky, and Flash is trailing behind. He's like, come on, Cranky, can't I come to the wedding? I'll wash your car for the next month. Why don't you like me? Why doesn't anybody like me? And Hasbro actually liked it, but they said they thought it was too much of an inside joke, so they cut it out. But there was a lot cut out of that episode.
And with that, we are sadly out of time.
Listen, hold on a second. Granny's Gone
Thank you,
Wild
guys.
is a real thing.
Thank you.
And it's horrible.
It's horrible. Do not ever Google that.
It's not my
Don't
fault.
ever.
So Jillian is a bad
The
person.
internet was
Google
right
that.
to be mad.
Don't Google that.
That was a
So
real
everybody,
misstep.
please give a hand to our wonderful panelists.
Thanks.
Gia,
Thank you,
Bill,
guys.
Vincent, Mr. Larson, and Tony. And we'll
Thank
see
you.
you out there somewhere.
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.